Welcome to Python Basics with EJD. In this video, I'll be talking about Python package management. In the previous video, we had talked about introduction to Python packages. So how do you manage packages? That's what we need to consider in this video. So Python package management, managing packages efficiently is crucial for reproducible development, smooth collaboration, and maintaining clean environments. So Python offers several tools and workflows for installation, dependency management, and environment handling. So first of all, of course, in the last video, we talked about installing, importing, and all of that as far as packages are concerned. So imagine we have to, so let's talk about installing and upgrading with pip. So pip is actually Python package installer. That's pip. And it is the most widely used package manager for Python. It comes bundled with modern Python distributions. So you can easily use pip install this, pip install that, right? So you have some basic commands in pip, by the way. So you have you can install a package, just like I said the other time, like pip install numpy, pip install matplotlib, and you can also do multiple pips like that. So pip install, okay, let me even add that. So you can say pip install a package, like pip install request. I don't need to install that, so I'm not going to bother. So you can install multiple packages, install multiple packages. So imagine, okay, pip install request numpy, you can go on scipy, anything. So you just list all of them. You can install multiple, or say even matplotlib, okay, pandas, right? Pandas, matplotlib, right? And so on and so forth. Okay. Then you can install a specific version of a package. So you can say pip install request equals 2.28. So the particular version you want to install, you can do that. Then you can also upgrade a package, right? So you just say pip install dash upgrade request. So you want to upgrade to the most recent version. Then, of course, when you try to do this upgrade, you have to pay attention that sometimes when you upgrade a package, it can affect other functionalities. So you have to be well informed to do this. All right. You can also uninstall a package. So you just say pip uninstall, and then whatever you want to uninstall, maybe request this time around. Then show package information. So if you want to show like pip show request, so you want to see the information, then you can list all installed packages. You just do pip list. All right. So let me, okay, I'll just go ahead and create a new cell to demonstrate some of these things. Let me say I just want to see maybe pip list. First of all, I want to see all the packages I have installed. Pip list. Okay, because this is the first time I'm running a code in this session, that's why it's taking a bit of time. So imagine wow, it's a whole lot. Imagine all the packages, modules that are installed. So many, okay? So, I mean, some that you don't even know exist. Accelerate. Let me try to, okay, there's audio read. So there are many things you can do with Python, right? There's beautiful soup. There's catch control. There's color sets, color layover. Of course, let me look for the popular guys like NumPy. And you have a lot of Google Cloud Storage, Google Speech, all these things. You have Google Notices, you have holidays, import metadata, a lot of things. There's JobLib. I think JobLib is for machine learning, like you want to save machine learning for use later. There's Kaggle Hub, a lot of packages. So that's for pip list, right? Matplotlib inline. You have, wow, this is serious. Okay, yeah, I've seen this is NumPy now. That's NumPy version 2.0.2. That's what we are using. Pandas, I think I have pandas also. Pandas version 2.2.2. So let me look for matplotlib. Matplotlib. Right? Matplotlib. Yeah, there's matplotlib version 3.10.0. Okay, so we have that. Yeah. So if you want to show package information, let's assume I need to see an information about maybe matplotlib. So I just say pip show All right, I think that's a key. Pip show, whatever. Pip show. Maybe I need something about NumPy. Let's even start with NumPy. Pip show NumPy. Okay. So to show me information about NumPy. So this can help you to understand the release notes and all these things. That's plenty. Okay. You want information about NumPy. This is it right here. It's a lot. Okay. That's version 2.0.2, fundamental package for array computing. So array computing, that's a keyword for NumPy. Array computing. All right. So in fact, maybe I'll change. Okay, of course, I'll be talking about NumPy later. So, NumPy for array computing. That's the key thing that NumPy does. So you can see all the information all the way like that. So it's a whole lot. Let's keep it moving. Let's move on from here. This is a lot. So the release notes, the information behind it, and what it contains, the history, you can see all of that. Okay. So, so you need to understand that you need to always keep pip updated. All right. So, so to keep pip updated, you need to do python-m pip install dash upgrade pip. Okay, maybe I've not done this before. I'll just do this now. Okay, invalid syntax. It's telling me, okay, that's fine. Just keep moving. So use pip check to detect dependency conflicts if necessary. Now we go to 34. Oh, this should be 34.2. I want to believe. Oh, okay, let me remove. Oh, this is that. Yeah, this is 34.1. So that next one should be 34.2. Okay, 34. Okay, I can even, I want to clear all this to make my movement easier. Okay, so this should be 34.2. 34.2. The other one being 34.1. Okay. All right. So for 34.2, we want to see using venv and conda environments. So venv is built-in virtual environment manager. So it is used to isolate dependencies per project and prevent version conflicts between different projects. So, you can create a virtual environment by using python-m venv. You can activate whether on Linux or, all right, whether on Linux or Mac OS. So by using source space venv/bin/activate, then you can activate Windows. I mean, all of this. So these are for venv now. So we won't waste time about that, just for information. Okay, then we have Conda, right? When I was using Jupyter Notebook, right, I was installing Jupyter Notebook courtesy of Anaconda, right? So for Conda, you have Anaconda or Mini Conda. More powerful. This is more powerful than venv because it manages both Python packages and system level dependencies like C libraries, compilers, and so on. It is ideal for data science, machine learning, and scientific computing. So you can create an environment. We have Conda create -n, my-env, Python, and all of this. You can activate the environment. So conda activates my-env, install package, conda install numpy, for instance. So instead of using pip, you can use conda install numpy, right? So you can export environments, conda env export greater environment.yml. You can recreate environments too. So now you see we can say pip install a package or conda install package like that. So managing dependencies with requirements.txt and poetry. So requirements.txt is a simple text file listing dependencies, right? And then it is standard for many projects. So you can freeze current environment into file by saying pip freeze. Then you have this chevron sign requirement.txt, and then you can install dependencies from file. So pip install -r requirement.txt also. Then you can have example requirements.txt. So like numpy 1.24.0, pandas greater than or equal to 2.00 requests, and so on and so forth. Then for poetry is a modern package and dependency manager, and it handles versioning, virtual environments, and publishing in one workflow. So you can say you can install poetry by saying pip install poetry. All right. So if you point at this, maybe you can get a bit statement can be separated by new lines. Okay, that's that. So create new project, poetry, new my project, add dependency, poetry, add numpy, remove dependency, poetry, remove numpy, export log file, poetry log, install all dependencies. You can have all of these going on like that, all right, for requirement.txt and poetry. So what are the advantages? So they are good for automatic version resolution, and then they generate pyproject.toml. That's PEP518 standard, easier publishing to PYPI. I think I forgot the other time. This is, oh, okay, I think we're good. This is 34.1, nice. And next we have 34.2. And after that, yeah, okay, everything is in order, 34.3. And then we move on to 34.4, where we talk about like we said, requirement.txt and poetry, they are easier for publishing to PYPI. So introduction to pipenv and conda-forge, right? So pipenv combines pip plus virtual environment plus dependency resolution, and it uses pip file and pip file.lock like that. Then you can install pipenv by using pip install pipenv. You can create environment plus install package. So you have pipenv install Flask. You can activate environment by using pipenv shell, and you can export log file by using pipenv lock. So what are the advantages? So this pipenv automatically creates and manages virtual environments, and it has better security via log files. Then talking about conda-forge, conda-forge is a community-driven conda channel with thousands of maintained packages, and it is often more up-to-date than the default conda channel. So install package from conda-forge. You have conda install -c, conda-forge, scikit-learn. Scikit-learn is a library for machine learning for sure. Then you can set conda-forge as default channel. So you have conda config --add channels conda-forge. Then you can have conda config --set channel priority strict. So what are the advantages of conda-forge? For large collection of scientific and niche packages, and it ensures cross-platform builds. So in summary, we see that pip is the basic installer. It is fast and it is standard. The venv is lightweight environment isolation. It's good for lightweight environment isolation. That is, conda is good for full environment. It's a full environment manager using Python and system libraries. Then requirements.txt is traditional dependency. Talks about traditional dependency list. Poetry is modern tool with TOML based dependency management, and pipenv combines pip plus virtual environments with log files. conda-forge is community channel for robust cross-platform builds. So with this, I come to the end of this video. If you have not subscribed already, you know you're missing a lot. So you want to go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can always get alerted each time a new video is released. If you have subscribed already, thank you so much. But of course, you know you can take it further by clicking on join, where you can become a member of my channel, and that gives you some extra privileges like seeing some videos first, or having some videos exclusively made for you, right? Then beyond that, you want to like, share, comment, so that more people can have access to the great content I have going on here. Till I come your way again, keep doing Python right. Bye.